I'll leave that.
Mark's kind of excited now, though, 'cause
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mount Olive Township Council meeting and workshop for November 20th, 2018. If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for all those that protect and serve us and paid the ultimate sacrifice. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Michelle, would you read the Open Public Meetings Act, please?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Here.
Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Labow.
here,
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Here.
Mr. Nacastro.
Here. And first, I'd like to welcome Ed Pasternak from Dorsey and Samaral.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Here.
welcome.
I drew the short straw.
First item up, we have a presentation from the Mount Olive Lions from food gift cards. If you would step up to the podium there and just state your names for the records, please. When you do, get up there.
Thank you, Council, for allowing us to come here tonight and make this presentation.
Can you just state your name for the record?
Gotcha.
Sorry.
My name is Joseph Gentili. I'm the president of the Mount Olive Lions Club.
Drew Van Dam, treasurer of Mount Olive Lions Club.
Again, we'd like to thank you for allowing us this time. We've had a pretty good year as a Lions Club, and we'd like to donate to the town 21 ShopRite tickets, each with a $50 value for the township to pass out to the residents that need them. And, it's a little gift to say, thank you for supporting us during the year. And we hopefully, when we do the tree lighting, we're going to have another 20-some-odd cars we're going to donate, probably from Walmart, for the Christmas holiday season.
Nice.
Each at $50 each. So we'll have about $2,000 plus donating to the township and the residents that need them. So we want to thank you for your support and look forward to working with you guys next year. And ladies.
And we thank you for all that you guys do. Lions does some great things, and we appreciate you, Anna. Appreciate all you guys, the organization does.
Every little bit helps, right?
Oh, it does.
Anybody can go hungry,
That's a lot.
anybody can kids without toys.
That's a lot.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
We'll see
Happy
you at the,
Thanksgiving.
Christmas lighting.
See you tomorrow, Drew.
Yes, bright and early, John.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Breakfast?
Breakfast every
Where do
morning.
you guys go?
I'll give it to you.
I love subs.
I thought so.
Thank you.
How's he doing?
Yeah, we'll pass them down there, thank you.
What's
Pardon?
his name? Haven't seen that.
All right, Andrew, the turf infield project.
Thank you, Council President. Several weeks ago, the mayor had the preliminary budget meetings with all the department heads, and we discussed the capital project to do the infield at the baseball fields at Turkey Brook. We're going to recommend moving forward with that project. However, instead of waiting to go through the entire budget process, we recommend fast-tracking it to try to get at least one of the fields done for the springtime. It's going to be tough, but we think we might be able to get at least one done. We spoke to the engineer, to Mike, and everyone's on board with the logistics of everything. So on the agenda for tonight is a first reading bond ordinance to finance the project. We have the money available in this year's budget for the down payment, so that's the plan.
Perfect. Mr. Rowan?
Andrew, which is the first field that we're trying to get turf?
I believe it's the middle one,
Okay, so that,
but I don't know.
that should be two.
It should be two.
Yeah.
But I believe it's the middle one. Whichever one Mike tells us he wants to be done first, that's the one we're gonna go with.
And then I'd like to applaud the administration for moving forward with this. This is something that's been long overdue, because of the drainage issues going on over that field. And I anticipate also that we should see some savings, and not only in materials but in manpower, because the previous fields required a lot of township resources in order just to make them playable. So we should hopefully see some ancillary benefits for that.
Correct.
Thank you.
Hopefully the weather will cooperate.
Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Hopefully the contractors have manpower available.
We can get it done. No, thank you for moving quickly on that, because as Alex said, it'd be a good thing to get done quickly. Okay, we have 13 resolutions. Does anyone have any questions or issues with resolutions?
Surprisingly not.
Seeing none, do we have 4 ordinances for second reading, and we have 2 for first reading? Does anyone have any questions on those ordinances?
My-
4 for first, 4 for second reading. 2 for first. I still always get it back.
Nope.
2?
For second.
Oh, that's why I was good. I was reading. 4 for first, 2 for second.
Who's on first?
That's why I was getting confused with the other.
Lou
What's on,
Costello.
what's on third?
Lou Costello's on first.
So we got it right now. I got 4.
Patterson.
Yeah, 4 for first, 2 for second. Good. Any questions?
You want to say that
anyone?
again?
Seeing none on those, does anyone have any old business? Seeing none, does anybody new business? Seeing none, does Tim from the audience, anyone from the public wish to have any comments? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I will open up the Mount Olive Township Council meeting for November 20th, 2018. Michelle, read the Open Public Meetings Act, please.
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakes Town Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda. Here. Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Labow.
Here.
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Here.
Mr. Nacastro.
Here. Mr. Amianda, would you approve the minutes from the previous meeting, October 20th, workshop, public meeting, and closed session?
Yes, Mr. President. I make a motion for approval of minutes of previous meetings on October 30th, 2018, work session and public meeting and closed session.
Second?
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Abstain?
Mr. Labow.
Yes.
Mr. Lehman.
Mister?
Mrs. Labow.
Mr. Labow.
Mrs. Labow.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Did
Mr.
you
Roman.
snort?
Mrs. Roman, yes.
Mr. I said Mr.
I know I did. Yes.
Mrs. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. Do I have I have a motion for the mayor's appointments with advice and consent of council for the Economic Development Committee. John Bash, 3-year unexpired term, expires 12/31/20, previously filled by Doug Fenicello, who moved. Jason Wallstein, 3-year unexpired term, expires 12/31/18, previously filled by Ralph Ruggiero, who resigned. And Stephen Bedell, 3-year unexpired term, expires 12/31/20, will fill a vacancy. Do we have any
Second.
motions?
So moved.
Second?
Second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda. Yes. Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Labow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes, can I question one section? It says expires 2018, or is that expires
It's
2020?
an unexpired term,
So he only goes to December?
12/31/2020.
Oh, that's supposed to be
That's
20?
It
correct.
shows 2018.
So we need a correction on that?
No.
No.
This is correct, and then at reorg, he will be put
Oh,
on
okay,
again.
reorg, that's
He
right.
has to
Thank
get
you.
the
Does
unexpired
expire.
term.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Stewart.
I was-
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. We have 25 pieces of correspondence. Does anyone have any correspondence? If not, I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 30-2018, an ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 302, Property Maintenance of the Township Code at Article 3 entitled Vacant and Abandoned Properties. Mr. Ferrante.
Sure, I move for adoption and final passage ordinance number 30-2018.
Second?
Second.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Does anyone from council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Labow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes, ordinance number 30-2018 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish the notice of adoption as required by law. I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 31-2018, an ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 329 smoking, Section 329-1, smoking on recreational fields of the Township Code to expand the term smoking to include e-cigarettes and vaping. Mrs. Laybow.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption and final passage of ordinance number 31-2018.
Second.
Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Anyone from council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
No.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. Ordinance number 31-2018 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish the notice of adoption as required by law. Where are we now? 32, right?
32. First reading.
These are still, we're back to first reading. That's why I was confused, I'm sorry. Next item on the agenda for first reading is ordinance number 32-2018, an ordinance amending ordinance number 25-2017 of the Township of Mount Olive entitled Salaries of Certain Non-Union Personnel. Mr. Mania.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that ordinance number 32-2018 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting will be held on December 4th, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of the law.
Second.
Any council discussion? Anyone from public wish to be heard? Close to the public, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is ordinance number 33-2018, an ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 46 Length of Service Awards Program to revise the Bud Lake Volunteer Fire Company 1 LoSAP point system. Mr. Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that ordinance 33-2018 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting be held on December 4th, 2018, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of the law.
Second.
Any council discussion? Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is ordinance number 34-2018, an ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive, amending ordinance number 26-2017, which established salaries for mayor, council, department head, supervisory personnel, and employees of the Township Clerk's Office, revised on 11/19/2018. Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that ordinance number 34-2018 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting be held on December 4th, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of law.
Second.
Any council discussion? Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Closed to the public, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is for first reading ordinance number 35-2018, bond ordinance providing for an acquisition and installation of turf baseball fields in and by the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $570,000, therefore authorizing the issuance of $541,500 bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. Mr. Ferrante.
Sure, I move that ordinance number 35-2018 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting be held on December 4th, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of the law.
Second.
Any council discussion? Seeing none, anyone from the public? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes, yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. We have 13 consent resolutions. Anyone wish to move any to non-consent? Seeing none, Mrs. Laybow, would you move consent resolutions 1 through 13, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move consent resolutions 1 through 13.
Second.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Anyone from council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Mr. Mania, would you please move the bill list?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill list.
Second.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Anyone from council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Administrative reports.
I would be remiss if I didn't start with the passing of two longtime first responders. Obviously Fred DeToro Sr. and Robert Cooper Smith from the Bud Lake Rescue Squad. Both will be missed tremendously. Both gave their lives for Mount Olive Township. Last night, we had the honor, Joe Nicastro and I, of attending the community Thanksgiving gathering at Abiding Peace. It was really a very moving, although stark, presentation about why we should be so thankful for everything that we have. The address was given by the rabbi from Temple HaTikva, and really was very stark in terms of recognizing how most of the world has very little and how appreciative we should all be for everything that we have, including clothing, shelter, and food. This year, the Festival of Lights, the Hanukkah event, will be held on Monday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. The tree lighting celebration will be Friday, December 7th at 7 p.m. And it's my understanding that the Santa House will be open this Saturday, November the 24th at 10 a.m. thanks to the Kiwanis Club and the many volunteers who will be assisting with the Santa House. Lastly, I would just like to wish everyone a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving, and God bless all of you and your families.
Thank you, Mayor. Anything else?
I'd just like to make one comment on the storm this past week. Despite what you might have read in the newspapers or on social media, our Public Works Department was well prepared. It was a difficult storm to manage. However, at approximately 1 o'clock, we had over 9 trucks salting. Several hours later, over 45 pieces of equipment were pushing snow. We also called in 6 plows that we have private contracts with to assist. So they did a great job of keeping up. It came fast and hard, but they worked throughout the entire night and made sure the roads were ready the next morning.
It's absolutely amazing to me that I got so many negative comments from people in town. All you needed to do was watch the television to see that this was a storm which was negatively affecting the entire Northeast, from Boston through New York, through East and West New Jersey. I can tell you that Kelly took her 4 hours to get home from Morristown to Chester, and the last mile and a half took her somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 hours. 3 hours to go, a mile and a half. It just was a storm that came at the wrong time, with the wrong temperature, with the wrong consistency of the snow. As soon as the snow hit the ground, it turned to ice. And as soon as people left their offices and clogged the roads, there was nothing that anybody can do. Having said that, the word I was getting was that the state just was completely absent in terms of their response to this storm. And that we didn't see a state truck in Mount Olive probably until well after the storm had actually finished, which is just kind of bizarre. But it just was a bad storm. There's nothing that we could have done differently that would have changed the circumstances in Mount Olive. So you know what, Tim, kudos to your guys. Please let them know that I'm satisfied with, more than satisfied. I'm grateful for the effort that they gave on this storm. I know they worked all night long, and hopefully we won't get another storm like that this year where we're unable to really keep up with the conditions. All right, thank you.
Anything else from administration? Any old business? Ms.
I'm just
Leyba?
going to step on, also with this storm, and I just wanted to say that I had to go out to go pick up my grandson from Roxbury. I picked him up from school at over on Mount Arlington Boulevard, and when I left, we had the snow barely started. But I saw our guys who were out already prepping the roads, and this was about 1 o'clock. Quarter after 1, I was like, wow, this is great. Okay, picked up Tyler at 1:40 by the time I got over to school and headed back to Mount Olive, and the roads were absolutely covered. Saw nothing on 46, the main roads. Got back to Mount Olive, what do I see? Mount Olive clearing the roads, and I was like, wow, this is fantastic. It took my son, Curtis, 7 hours to get home from Denville. It took my son, Jeremy, 6 hours to get home from Belvedere. So let's say it was a crazy, crazy night. And our street got plowed 3 times. Yay! We usually can't get down our street. We had no problem, so thank you very much. You guys did a great job, but it was really interesting to be out on the roads in several different towns, 3 different towns, at when it started, everything started. So I actually saw firsthand exactly what the mayor was saying. Our guys did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Can you make sure that in the next storm, Colleen's street doesn't get plowed, because she's already had more than her share?
Yes, that was all the years I lived there.
Here's the limit.
Some of the had not, they shouldn't have been there 3 times.
No,
Hey,
they were doing a good job.
Tim, maybe you can answer. Some of 206 has nothing to do with you, but they put the brine down on some of 206. And then there was other parts didn't have it.
They might have been just going after hills and curves. They might have run out of the material. I couldn't answer that. I wouldn't know. I
Didn't
know.
make much of a difference.
I was going to
in
say, I don't think the
storm
brine made
anyway.
much of a difference.
No, the brine does it. You know, it'll cut the first inch or so, but after that, you're back. With that storm, it made no difference at all.
Actually, the melting snow probably made it worse.
Yeah,
Agreed,
it
yes.
froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It's just unbelievable the way it worked. You know,
Yeah.
it just melted and
The bottom
slush.
line is
and-
that people don't understand. They don't understand the dynamics of a storm and what it takes to actually clear the roads. What roads are our responsibility and what
Right.
roads are county and what roads are state. And that in every storm, we're out there with our material and our trucks. It's unfortunate, you know, that we have only so many guys to do 30 square miles of roadway. It's just, you know, when there's a bad storm like that, you need to heed the warnings, get home if you can. Not, it's gonna take a long time, unfortunately.
The interesting part too was when the storm actually started, it came down with such fierceness that the idea of everybody leave work early and get home before the brunt, if everybody had just stayed in work, the crews could have cleared the roads. It might have been a different story, but that's hindsight. It's 2020. You never know.
Yeah, at the moment it's happening, you have no idea.
You have no idea, no.
I
So
was
it,
sitting at my house at 1 o'clock watching it come down, so you know, I picked up dinner on the way home. I was prepared.
you were prepared. There you go.
I was lucky enough to have the flexibility to be able to do that. Not everybody else does.
Yeah.
And I don't always either, but in this particular storm, I was fortunate enough. And the storm was much more severe than we thought. You know, we originally thought 2 to 4, and it came in at 5 to 7. It was just one of those bad times. I often say that sometimes a 5-inch snowstorm is a lot worse than a 3-foot snowstorm.
Yeah, the final reading for Bud Lake was 9.5
I was going to
inches.
say, there's a lot of
It
snow
wasn't,
up
it
there.
wasn't even so much the amount of snow.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was the snow rate, it was the temperature, and it was the amount of cars that were on the road.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you could have had a 3-foot snowstorm that started at 11 o'clock, you would have had much better results than the storm that you had.
That's a fact.
I understand.
You just
Tim, they did a great job. My street only got plowed once.
Yeah, I'll find out
So
what
it's
happened with
okay,
that.
though.
That's because I was at the end of your street.
Oh, you were
Yeah, I
directing the
was-
They were
trucks
busy
on
on
your...
Colleen
College Street. They couldn't get back to
Okay.
yours.
I'll let the crews know. Thank you very
Do
much.
my street just
Thank
in
you, Tim.
case.
Any other old business, or, I mean, any old business? We didn't get there yet. Any new business? I do have one question for Andrew on this. I'm getting a lot of complaints over and over in my neighborhood about Optum Online, Cablevision. They seem to be going down quite often. I just kept telling them, I just thought, I seen it in my house. I think I contacted you today because it finally got to a point where they keep emailing me and asking me. There's nothing we can do. But I don't know if there's issues going on. I mean, literally every 15 minutes it was going out for 5 minutes just over and over in our neighborhood. And I don't know if they're doing something or you know something.
I don't know anything. I'll reach out tomorrow
Yeah.
to our contact and see if there was, a
Something.
specific issue.
It's been
that-
frequently, just so you know, it's been frequent more than just like today. It wasn't because of a storm. It's been happening almost every week on a regular basis. And my neighbors are asking me, what can we do? And I said, there's nothing. We don't have any other options for cable. Go
BPU
to
regulates
satellite.
them, so, they could take all the complaints
Right.
there.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll try to find out.
All right, thank you. Yes,
For new business, I think this would fall into new business. Andrew, for the natural gas lines, I saw on what was it, on Necon Road, corner of Woodland and Necon, there was a sign up now if you want to hook up to gas. Are they ready to go with that? Do you know if they're going to expand, or are they just trying to get the customers where they put the lines in already on first, second, and third in the center section?
I believe they were in last year doing the mains.
They did the middle section, they didn't do the ends.
I'll get an update for you.
And, okay, good, yeah. 'cause I
That's
was
like
just-
my street didn't get it.
Your,
It did
mine
first.
didn't either, I know.
Mine didn't get it.
No, we didn't. We're on the edges. See, we got paved, or plowed.
Well, we only got 4 houses on my block. But
I still want
I guess they
natural
didn't figure
gas.
it was important enough.
I
Any
just,
other
now
new
that they have
business?
those signs up, I figure maybe we're gonna get it, hopefully.
any other new business, any new business? Seeing none, legal matters?
Just one brief, just one brief legal matter. As you may recall, Merchant Hydro was issued a preliminary permit by FERC, which is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. I'm here to report that the permit that was preliminarily issued was canceled because they didn't send a renewal based upon a second noticing. And we received that notice from FERC yesterday. So their permit that they have currently in effect will be ended, close of business, December 19th, 2018.
Mr. Roman?
Would they be able to restart that permit easily, or do they have to start the process over
The
again?
latter.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other legal business, or that's it? We're good, right?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Council reports, Mr. Amianda, anything on Board of Ed or seniors?
Board of Education did not meet, and there is no report on senior citizens.
Thank you, Mr. Amianda. Mr. Ferrante, welcome back. And any reports on Environmental Laker Library?
Nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Stewart, anything on economic, community, or open space, community action panel?
Community Action
not
Panel
open
did not meet, but the Economic Development Committee has followed up and has scheduled 2 different job-type fairs for the businesses in the area.
Thank you.
And also,
Oh,
congratulations to the 3 new members.
we welcome them. Ms. Labo, anything on open space, Board of Health, or stigma?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Maney, anything on legislative or planning?
Planning, and we had a very lengthy meeting. I don't want to go through the whole thing and prolong the meeting, but it was a good meeting.
What application?
We had McDonald's Corporation, Mountain Ridge Estates, final site plans, Lustig Enterprises, preliminary and major site plan, Jersey Girl Brewing was approved. There's a guy on Necon Road that's got 2 lots that he wants to build houses on, and they're so substandard, they're half the size they should be. So that's been carried to the December 13th meeting. And then we approved the Hackettstown Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, putting a new parking lot in, and there was residents complaining about the lighting from the parking area shining in their bedrooms, and there's adjustments have been made to satisfy these people,
Is that
so
the
that
new
doesn't happen.
Is that the new location for the Jehovah?
No, that's the old
The old one,
location.
they're moving back there?
Same location where it's been for many years.
Many years, okay, I didn't know if they were going to move, but I guess they stayed.
They stayed there.
John, the Jersey Girl application, what was that about?
Well, the amount of people that can be in there at a simple affair, and they have to abide by the town as to how many people can
Right, so
be
we-
there at one time.
They were actually looking to do a number of different things. They were looking to actually put in some opening, kind of sliding doors to actually bring the outside into the facility. And they were looking to, or they got approved to actually have the sale of packaged goods at the facility. And they were looking, as John said, to be able to accommodate events at the facility consistent with New Jersey law. And the planning board ultimately approved them for the limits of what the law would allow them to do. It's one of those highly regulated areas in terms of what you can do and what you can't do. So overall, Jersey Girl was very happy with
Yes.
the approval that they got.
Is McDonald's expanding their square footage or just remodeling?
Just remodeling.
Thank you, Mr. Mania. Mr. Roman, anything on Record Pride?
Nothing to report?
Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Council comments, Mr. Amianda?
Mr. President, first, I'm glad that John Ferrante is back with us. And secondly, I wish everyone a happy and Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Mr. Ferrante?
Sure. First, I just want to thank everybody for the well wishes. It's much appreciated. It's good to be back, and I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Ms. Lebo?
I didn't even notice you were gone.
Just want to say again, join in with everyone that welcome back Mr. Ferrante, and I'm sure this year we have even more to be thankful for. Right? It's and it is just everybody take a moment to think about how lucky we all are during this holiday season. It's my favorite season, Thanksgiving. Get to see all the relatives and enjoy making new memories. So happy, safe holidays to all.
Mr. Mania?
Again, welcome back, Mr. Ferrante. Our prayers have been with you, and God bless, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Mr. Stewart?
Echo the same comments, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Mr. Roman?
Obviously, welcome back, Mr. Ferrante. Glad to see you're up and about and looking as well as always. I, for one, would like to not only wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, but also can express my extreme thankfulness for being part of this council, part of the administration's efforts to move the business of the town forward, and to be part of this township. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roman. John, I'm not going to welcome you back again. Everybody else did already. But just wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and I ditto what Alex says. It's very appreciative to be part of this great team here.
And good luck tomorrow with your dinner.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up. Yes, thank you.
Yes, not tomorrow, Thursday.
Thursday.
2 days,
Thank
yeah,
you.
tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
And thank you for doing that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all.